what is everyone's thoughts on the Balogun suspension of his red card? I think it's pretty well accepted that VAR was used incorrectly, that there probably shouldn't have been a red card unless it was a red in the moment and then they reviewed it and upheld it. But even the slow motion, it wasn't supposed to be used, XYZ. I think most everybody out there, regardless of which nation you're rooting for, agrees that it probably shouldn't have been a red card. But the aftermath, everything that happened after that, that ended up being the suspension of the red card. What is everyone's thoughts on that?
Dave, go ahead.
I don't think you should suspend the red card. I think you should have just left it. My thought on this is the same as it would be for any nation. I don't have a dog in this fight. My country got eliminated a few days earlier, also fought incredibly hard to get to where we are. This is the best finish Canada's ever had. My entire adult life, Canada's men's soccer team has not really existed. Like all of the 80s, they weren't any good. The 90s, they didn't have a team that even qualified in FIFA. They only started getting good about 8 years ago when they started building up the youth program. So I have no dog in this fight. I think that it was a soft red card to begin with. So that I'll just preface by saying I don't understand why he got a red. That seemed a little wild to me. But once you give the red, I feel like it should just be that it's given, and you kind of just have to take your lumps and be like, man, that was a shitty red, because the amount of awful cards that I've seen in this tournament is insane. And then on top of that, yeah, did they use things incorrectly? Of course they did. But then to go retroactively back to it just felt like the optics were so bad that there was no winning. And I feel like you did yourself a disservice, not the US, but FIFA did themselves a disservice by overturning this, because it put all the attention wrongfully onto an American team that was just trying to advance. And I think all of that pressure took everything from Belgium. They were like, oh, nobody thinks we can win. We're a much better, like they're a much better team than you guys are. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
they rolled us up a couple months ago, I believe.
5-2 in a friendly. Yeah, they absolutely beat you guys up there. So you're looking at it and going, okay, this team is really, it's a good team. It's a European team. They have a much deeper quality squad. And now I've given them all the ammo. And you're a host country. So like you would think that they would be trying to take some of the like eye and stink off you and be like, let's celebrate Lumen Field and how electric that atmosphere is. And instead they turned it into nonsense. And absolutely, Bill Workman, 100%.
Thank you for hopping in here, brother.
It felt insane to me to overturn it. I don't feel like he was a necessary part of the team that would have, like, I know he's an important player, but I don't think like putting him in didn't make a difference. And I just felt like it took so much attention away from everything that should have been happening. It should have been fireworks and like flyovers and the Lumen Field crowd just gassing everybody up, and then the Americans focused on that. Instead, they were worried about, well, how are they going to react to this guy who got the overturned red card, and we're going to blame the president because we're big dumb idiots. Like, it just put all the attention to the wrong places, and it took away from what has otherwise been an incredible hosting experience from all three nations. Canada's done great. Mexico, the games in Canada were electric, in Vancouver in particular. The games in Stadio Azteca were amazing. And I think that everything in America has been, like, Dallas has been great. Lumen was phenomenal when they equalized. Like, that's what I want to see. Right. I don't want to see the politics of this out in the open. Do that behind closed doors. Keep that shit off the field.
So for me, the idea that it was overturned, I didn't hate. I hated when it was done. If this is going to happen, it has to happen almost immediately. Like, this has to be an instant correct. Like, hey, they did do this wrong. They used the wrong procedure. So because they did the wrong procedure, we don't think it's a red. We're going to change this immediately. We're not going to wait several days so Belgium can prepare for a team that's not going to have Balogun. And then all of a sudden, day before, they're like, hey, by the way, we're letting them fucking play. Now, I understand, like, not doing it because it creates a huge shitstorm. But there were other red cards that happened in matches before that were suspended. I know a lot of Americans are making this argument. It's slightly different because they were outside of this tournament. In this tournament, I can understand why Belgium's pissed because it happened in this tournament. Why are we suspending? It was a shit red card, in my opinion.
Agree.
I don't know how, and you brought up the several bad red cards. The fucking England and Mexico red card was another atrocious red card. So I understand why they're upset. I didn't see a huge problem with it because of some of the things that were set in place before. But if I get to stand back now and look at it retrospectively, it never should have happened because all it did was create, I guess, a story that we didn't need. It could have been we lost our guy to a bullshit red card and we got smoked by Belgium because we got fucked.
Could have been a rallying cry, though, Mike.
Could have been a rallying cry. We could
Instead,
have
it was bulletin board material.
We came out and we could have won, or we could have competed and be like, nah, we are in this shit. And if it weren't for the bullshit red card, all these things could have been different. And God, could you imagine if for some reason, if we'd have won that game, like Balogun didn't do shit. If that hell's Pulisic was an absolute fucking joke out there during this tournament.
Is he the most overrated American soccer player in the last like decade? Everybody's been talking about Pulisic as like Captain America. He's going to come in and he is the
he was awful.
I didn't do fucking shit. That's who he is right now.
Yep.
He didn't do anything. And Reams did not do you any favors.
No, I mean, we had a couple guys like I don't remember how you say, I don't know, Bernhardt or whatever, who came in for Pulisic. Like that dude was electric. He put a shot in and like was trying to hype the crowd and get everybody going. Like if we get those guys in who are thinking they're going to play and they're fighting for their country because they got fucked in the last round, maybe that's a different game. I know it's certainly a different story, different narrative than we're talking about in the entire national media. We don't have a conversation about Trump stepping in. We don't. If America got fucked and this is a rallying cry that, oh man, we got screwed. We're on the up and up, or we perform fairly decently and we're like, man, we got a little bit of confidence. But instead, we got our guy back. He did shit, and we still got our dicks kicked in. That's a real bad look.
That's my thing with the whole. It was bad process in the match. The VAR wasn't used correctly. Bad red card. But the old adage is 2 wrongs don't make a right. And so the process after the fact, because I admittedly, not knowing, immediately went to Google and was like, is there an appeals process with FIFA and red cards? Because I don't know. And it was very much so, no, that's not the case. But FIFA is able to autonomously and independently do things, unlike the leagues that we are typically used to watching. And so that's how this all kind of like, it was out of sight, out of mind to me that this was even a possibility until obviously the day before when they said that they're going to suspend the red card. And I just thought it was a bad look. Like 2 wrongs don't make it right. If they were going to have done it, it should have, yes, like Mike said, been much closer to right after that initial match had ended.
After.
But even then, you took what was and to kind of set the whole stage. You have so many people from abroad coming to North America and experiencing our culture and everything. We've talked about this on our previous shows, how awesome it is to see Europeans going nuts for ranch.
It's our boy Freddie from Germany.
Brisket, and all of this stuff. And they're getting to experience this and being like, oh, we've heard all this bad stuff about the US and you're going to get shot and blah, 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 after we just have the gun conversation and blowing stuff up. But like all this stuff, they're like, oh, be careful. It's a rough place. And everyone's like, it's not. It's awesome here. Like, they love the culture. They want to bring back ranch and air conditioning and everything to their countries. And so it's a very positive look for the US. Then you're also playing the underdog card of the US maybe shouldn't be playing as good as they are, but they are playing really good. And are they actually a threat to this? And now we go from being the underdog, which everyone likes to root for the underdog,
Darling.
to now it almost looks like we're the bad guy. And it's not the team's fault. That's the thing, is
No,
that
they
I
didn't
feel
do it.
bad for the players, because now Team USA and the players are immediately flipped into some sort of a villain role because politics got involved. And again, one wrong and then another wrong didn't make it right. It just was a bad look, let the bad taste in. Now everyone doesn't care. You aren't the team that was wrong. You are the team that is wronging everyone else. And so that underdog mentality that could have spurned a huge upset against Belgium now just looks like, yeah, the team that got cheated and tried to cheat their way back in, whether they actually did or didn't, now they got knocked out. So no one cares. No one feels bad about it. And that's why we absolutely deserve all the shit from Belgium and everyone else that's talking shit, because like it's kind of like, I didn't do it, Mike didn't do it, but the country is representing us, and it kind of makes us look like assholes. So that's where like I have, obviously hindsight's 2020 with that, but it sucks to see that have to happen that way. I would have rather us been the underdog, not have Balogun out there and lose and be like, yeah, we're not as good at soccer or football or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and we were wrong. Better luck in 4 years, but it is what it is.
But that's a huge narrative change after you lose that game, because then people are like, holy shit, we've got a chance to beat the Europeans. That's something that they love, because now you're looking at it from, we were missing our guy and we hung in this match. But instead, you got all of the politics involved and everybody's like, haha, you big bunch of idiots. This is why you shouldn't have meddled. And now the American sentiment is also harmed, because the amount of people that are like, I just don't care about soccer for 4 years now, instead of people that would generally be like, I wonder when the next, when's the next Gold Cup? When's the next Copa America? When's our Copa America? Olympics are in LA this year. When do we get Belgium in the Olympics? I saw one tweet where someone was like, I want Belgium round 1. And that's the attitude that you kind of hope you're building with this kind of momentum. All 3 of our teams ended losing in this round. Mexico was out in this round in an unbelievable kind of fuckery that happened with that match. Canada had a bunch of chances to go ahead and they just couldn't do it, and then basically gave up a couple of, I'll call them empty net goals. They had the keeper was all the way into the box of the other side, so it was a full court press trying to score against them. And what we saw with the Americans, we saw teams that had a lot of gumption, a lot of push. They were really trying to do it. I really think that if you don't reverse this red, you make them sit out, everybody comes a rallying cry. Everybody, I think of the Olympic men's hockey team and how they rallied around being the underdog. Nobody wants us to win. I mean, Jack Hughes wasn't sitting there saying, oh, we're the favorite. Fuck those guys. Canada's nothing. They were like, they're a better team. We're going to lose. And then they didn't play like they were going to win. And then they got to overtime and they won. And it's led to some of the most iconic sports photography that's out there. Him with the flag over and the missing teeth. And that shit goes hard. And we talked about it at Combine House when I was this is the last time I was on the show, but the last time I was on Raw Dog Proper with everybody. And it was incredible. And instead, now you've got people that are like, I don't care about this. And you've just torpedoed your country's desire to go here. You had an option. You could have been here. Now you're back down here. Now you've got to start building. You've spent 4 years building up this American side, saying, hey, Pulisic's here. We've got Balogun. We've got all these guys. We've got these young guys coming in. It's going to be electric. We're going to see what happens. We're on home soil. Why not us? And now everybody's like, yeah, I don't care. Copa America is going to come along and nobody's going to care.
Yeah, that's a problem, because look, and I'm assuming Mike is probably the same way as I am with this. Knew that World Cup was going on, knew that FIFA was going to be happening, didn't care. And then all of a sudden bandwagon because my country is doing something. I'm like, wait a second, we might have something here. Yeah. And you're absolutely right, Dave. Like this could have really snowballed into something good, and it went the other direction because as soon as shit started going sideways, I was like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Still better than the NBA.
I don't disagree. So we had a couple more comments coming in here. Yeah, we did. As soon as the goalie fucked that up, and I don't know what he was doing. What
Young Wei Koo.
Young Wei Koo'd it, man. That was it was awful. And Evo, you brought up something earlier that I want to touch on. The two wrongs don't make a right. Nah, well, maybe. But when you come out to Ohio next, we'll see. But you said two wrongs don't make a right. Well, neither do three. So we have the wrong red card. We have the president or whoever stepping in, asking some questions. Maybe
even know if it was the president. Do we know that for sure? Are we just assuming shit? Like, are we just being like?
I think that Trump he said. I think that he said that he called. I don't know.
Trump said he did, and then
I think the FIFA guy
also said in a presser the morning of, he's like, yes, he called, but also leaders of all and all these nations call and talk about stuff.
And it's an independent process. So, but the third wrong, and I saw this all over fucking Twitter, and I don't understand it. Well, as an American citizen, I'm rooting for Belgium now. Good for you. You're a fucking dipshit. Why are you rooting for Belgium? Oh, because you don't like Trump? You're going to take your hatred out on a political figure by not rooting for your countrymen who are competing at the highest fucking level. It is so asinine to me that we have allowed politics to infect everything that we do, we just hate. All we do is hate shit. All you had to do was say, you know what? I don't like this process. I don't think Trump should have fucking called in. You can still support the team. Evo, those guys had nothing to do with it. You said it. Why are we not fucking supporting them still? If you're saying, well, I couldn't imagine supporting this group of people because they're representing the United States, you're a fucking dumbass to the highest order. It's not about that. You have a group of people from your country who have worked their ass off, their life away to be able to compete at a national stage to represent you. Show some fucking respect for how much they have worked. If it were Biden in office, you'd be cheering them on. Stop with the stupid bullshit. I don't even like Trump. I can't stand that motherfucker. But this is asinine behavior.
Do you like waffles, though? Because maybe they're just a big fan of Belgian waffles.
Yeah, well, listen. I like Belgian waffles. They're delicious. I don't like Belgian soccer. Those guys can fuck off.
It's the same reason why I am passively still going to be paying attention, because my Norwegian heritage calls me to my people. And what is his name? Erling Haaland. Yeah. You weird looking dude. Great. And that's the thing is, I would have been rooting for the US all the way over Norway, but now at least I have a fallback where I can kind of root for Norway. It's the same thing. Just because this stuff happened with politics getting involved, wasn't going to make me not root for the US and just be like, well, I'm only Norway now. No, I'm gonna stick with my brothers. That's
I was watching Canada. I had no intention of. At no point ever did I think Canada was going to win this shit. Mm-hmm. And like their like path forward was kind of fucked. Like it's like, oh, you beat Morocco, you get France. Enjoy Kylian Mbappe, you bitch. It's like there's no way. There's no way.
We all like gambling. I was nearly going to put money on the US not winning this one.
We are delusional in America, dude. We are like, holy fuck. We won something we had no business winning. We could win the whole thing. The miracle has always kind of just been implanted in our mind. Can we do it again? Do you believe in miracles, man?
Do you remember when the US beat It was like Pakistan or India at cricket. It was like one time you guys
We were just
and
talking about that.
every meme was like a bald eagle with a cricket bat, and they're like,
Yep.
we're fuck you, we're taking it. It's ours.
I didn't even know we fucking had a cricket team.
Of course you do.
We will latch on to anything that we can be proud about here with our country. But that's part of the beauty of the U.S. is our pride in fucking anything where we're doing good at it.
Hell yeah.
Don't really care.